Hello and welcome back to GastroVision. I'm Dr. Qazi Suhail from Government Medical College, Srinagar. In today's session, we will discuss a very interesting EUS finding, the disappearance of the first hyperechoic layer, mild hypoechoic change of the second layer, and a normal third hyperechoic layer. Let's break down what that actually means and how to interpret it in clinical context. Before we interpret this finding, let's quickly review the 5-layer structure of gastrointestinal wall as seen on endoscopic ultrasound. First hyperechoic layer, that is superficial mucosa. It is actually an interface between mucosa and lumen. Second hypoechoic layer, that's deep mucosa including muscularis mucosa. Third hyperechoic layer, that is submucosa, and fourth hypoechoic layer, that's muscularis propria. Fifth hyperechoic layer, that's serosa or adventitia. The alternating echogenic pattern helps us localize pathology within the specific wall layer. Now, in this case, endoscopic ultrasound reveals disappearance of the first hyperechoic layer. There is mild hypoechoic change of the second hypoechoic layer, and there is normal third hyperechoic layer. This description indicates that superficial layers of mucosa are affected, but the deeper layers, especially submucosa, remain intact. So, what could cause loss of the first hyperechoic layer? This typically suggests ulceration or erosion of mucosal surface. The hyperechoic first layer corresponds to the epithelial surface and interface echoes from the mucosal luminal border. When this layer disappears, it means the epithelial surface is either disrupted or replaced by inflammatory or necrotic tissue. Next, the second hypoechoic layer, representing the deep mucosa and muscularis mucosa. It shows mild hypoechoic change. This suggests edema or inflammatory infiltration within the mucosa. And this is commonly seen in early mucosal inflammation, superficial ulceration, or mucosal neoplasia. The third hyperechoic layer, which represents submucosa, appears normal. That's an important observation. It means the disease process has not yet penetrated beyond the mucosa. So we are dealing with a superficial mucosal lesion. Such endoscopic ultrasound findings can be seen in early gastric cancer, mucosal type, erosive gastritis or duodenitis, superficial ulcerations, and high-grade dysplasia confined to the mucosa. In early gastric cancer, for example, the disappearance of the first hyperechoic layer reflects tumor infiltration replacing the epithelial surface, while preservation of deeper layers suggests T1A stage that's limited to mucosa. In benign erosions or ulcerations, inflammatory change can cause similar findings but without irregular margins or deep hypoechoic invasion. Let us summarize. First, hyperechoic layer, that is superficial mucosa. Disappearance indicates surface erosion or infiltration. Second, hypoechoic layer, that's deep mucosa. Mild hypoechoic change suggests inflammation or edema. Third, hyperechoic layer, that submucosa, is normal. That means lesion is confined to the mucosa. This suggests superficial mucosal disease such as early malignancy or inflammatory erosion. When interpreting such findings, always look for margin clarity because irregular margins often suggest malignancy. You should also look for layer continuity because disruption indicates invasion depth and echogenic pattern symmetry. Asymmetry favors neoplastic process. Also correlate with endoscopic findings and histology for final staging. So that was today's short endoscopic ultrasound case interpretation, disappearance of first hyperechoic layer, mild hypoechoic change of the second layer, and a normal third hyperechoic layer. It's a classic pattern of a lesion confined to the mucosa, which can help differentiate early disease from advanced invasion. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.